because there is no competition for the competent. But for a person who is trained into questioning himself, there is always competition. Rote learning the subject and pouring it out in the answer sheet. Because you poured out what you have into the answer sheet, now you are empty. Education is not instilling a sense of confidence or a sense of competence and capability in students. It's just making students pressurized to an extent where they cannot focus more than the subject before them. That is creating the problems. Like a horse that runs with blocks in the field of vision. In the same fashion, we study for clearing this exam. A student enters into 8th class. The moment he enters, before he enters, will be in the 8th class, you need to get good marks. The student is not given a picture of life, or the student is not inspired for being something in life. See, for example, you have to go to school and study so that you will be a successful man. Child is not able to connect how going to school and gaining this education is making him successful in life. Connecting the dots is not happening. A sense of confidence is not being built. A sense of question or questioning your own self, doubting your own self, a sense of low self-worth and low self-esteem is being built. You live for the day. And when you perform for the day, you feel happy. Slowly what happens is you live for the class. And once the 8th class content is over, you go into 9th class. And then you will say, in my 10th class, the question is, in my 10th class, I forgot my 8th. So what is the point that I will remember? The truth is, if you ask a doctor, scientist, engineer, management, what all they have studied in their MBA colleges, they have forgot. You don't study to remember the subject. You study to gain confidence that you have studied. The feeling of you have arrived is giving a sense of completion to people. Am I clear with you? And that is the reason why once you feel that you have arrived, that is the reason why students these days after colleges, they feel they have arrived, they have become that. And when they go into this job or business, then they realize their education, most people are not employable. Most people are not. Why so? Because they are getting a false sense of gratification. When you know how to grasp, process information and apply it. Are you understanding? That is the reason why you will find people, sometimes they do very well in their 10th class theory exams and or 12th class they will do very good. They will get 98, 97. Some people will get 99. But then when it comes to competitive exams, they don't do well. How to apply and how to internalize the subject that you are learning. Internalizing the subject is not happening. Rote learning the subject and pouring it out in the answer sheet. Because you poured out what you have into the answer sheet, now you are empty. You're feeling empty. But you have a false sense of gratification that I've arrived. All competitive exams are not rote learning supporting things. They are application things. So in your intermediate exam, you are, 12th class exam, you are tested for your rote learning. In fact, teachers also advocate you write what is there in the textbook. So student rote learns it for the happiness of the teacher and the evaluator. But what happens is, in the competitive exam, you have to apply the concept and arrive at something. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So there they will fail. But some children are excelling. How? Because what is happening is, some children are naturally born with that sense of purpose. By the time the child is 10th class, the child is emotionally, mentally decided that I will be this. For myself. You understand? They enjoy that process. I want to be that. And those children, they are excelling because they know where to go. Some children naturally have that. Some children don't have it. And when you don't have it, you can't pressurize them for rote learning. But that is what happening. So how to help children who are average into making them extraordinary, talented, competition ready people is by making them competent. Because there is no competition for the competent. But for a person who is trained into questioning himself, there is always competition. Sukshma Drashta fundamentally concentrates on this. A deep sense of self-worth, can do. And that is what I say, cognitive training, ability to apply, process and apply what you have learned. And be the best version of yourself at any given situation. Not feeling that, anxious, low self-worth, doubtful individual. That's very important. Most children these days are not good communicators. They say with their friends they talk, with their mother they talk, with their father they talk, but when they go outside they are shy or they cannot talk. Why? Because what happens is they develop this sense of comfort zone. Most children, if you observe, with their mother and fathers they fight, they scream at home, they shout, they do all this. With their friends also they talk, but any new person they can't talk. That has to be trained from the childhood, how to be an effective communicator. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Why? Because you have to get rid of your self-doubt. What happens if? What happens if? That keeps running in the child. Am I clear with you? So, these cognitive deficits when a child overcomes, definitely success is inevitable. Because there is no competition for the competent.